Hello everyone, this is Gowthami. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for your support in growing our community. This motivates me to upload more videos. Keep encouraging by sharing, liking, and subscribing with your family and friends. Your help means a lot to us. Let's begin the session. In the last session, we have learned HTML, CSS, JavaScript also. In today's session, we are going to learn one application based on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So today we are going to develop a calculator application. So is my screen visible, right? So this is what we are going to develop today. So my background should be like two variants, like a black and gray color. Later, I just created a calculator here. Here, whenever I click the buttons, those buttons are displaying in this result section. And whenever I am using those operators along with the numbers, if I click equal to symbol, the result is also be seen in the same input tag. Okay. So means first what we need to do here is, first we need to develop the structure using the HTML. To make this one look good, I'm using the CSS. So styling part is done. Later on, for performing these kind of actions, whatever the actions I am performing on these buttons, that and all done with the help of JavaScript. So today we're going to develop this application. Once it is done, we are going to start one more application also, that is a to-do list app. So let's develop this just by keeping it as a reference. Let's begin the session. Is my voice clear? Is there any disturbance you people hearing? Yes? Are you hearing any disturbance background?
No, ma'am.
Is it fine, right? Everything? Actually, here some work is going on. So much big noise is here. So are you able to catch those sounds and all? If it is not, okay, then it is fine. I can continue here itself. No sounds, right? Okay, then. Yes. So let's begin developing this kind of application. So we already know that there should be one place to develop these kind of applications. So what I should do here is, I'm going to create one folder under this new batch section. So how to create a folder? Just you can make use of this icon or simply right click, new folder. I'm just giving this name as calculator. What is the name I'm giving? Calculator. Okay, so this is my folder actually. So in this folder, I'm providing a file for creating the structure. So what is that file name I'm giving here is calculator.html. Okay, so now what's the first step that we should do here is, you should create the structure for your documentation. Okay, so what I can do, exclamatory mark, tab symbol. So it is going to give the structure. I'm going to give the title as calculator. I'm just giving the title as calculator. Later on, I'll just keep it side by side. Otherwise, I'll just run it, okay, open with the live server. So first what I'll do here is, I'll create a structure. Later on, I'll apply stylings for that. So just keep this file side by side while doing the program, while doing the structure. So now what I'm going to do here is, the first thing what you should do here is, you have to create this complete thing as a one section, because whenever you want to do the stylings, that time you can make use of that tag. So what I will do here is, I'm providing the div tag and I'm giving the class name for this one selector. I'm giving class is equal to calculator. Your wish, the identifiers and all your wish, whatever you want, you can give it. I'm just giving the relevant selectors here. So inside this, we have seen that here, this is one section. Okay, this complete I'm placing in this div. Okay, this is this div. So inside this, what I'm doing here, this is one section where we are going to display the values which are present on those buttons. Okay, so this is one field, and later on this is and all one field. Okay, so now what I'm going to give here is, this is generated with the help of input field, which is coming from the form tag. Okay, see here, input function. I'm providing input function. Here, whatever the data you will be entering, that will be like a string data. So when it is a string data only, it will be very much good for performing some kind of manipulations and all. So input type, text, then placeholder. I want to give, what I want to give here is placeholder. Whenever you are providing this input field, there should be one number, that is a 0. You can see here in our thing, nothing is there. So what I need to do, I want to give the placeholder as 0 so that there will be 0 on this input field. So one thing is done. Later on, what I want to do, I just want to generate this section now. So this, in this section, there are 4 buttons. Yes or no? So this complete, I'm going to provide it in one section. So create one div part. I'm going to make it a word wrap so that everything in a single line. Means in the same page. So now create one div section here. Inside this div, how many buttons you have in one row? 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, 4 buttons. So at a time I want, so button into 4. Hit the tab symbol, you will get 4 buttons at a time. You will get 4 buttons at a time. Now what I will do, I want to generate these numbers, like these characters on those buttons. So what is the first character on this? AC. Later on, del. Later on, what is the percentage symbol? Later on, you have /. So now see here, the same thing you got it. And same thing what I will do, I'll just copy this div and paste it for how many times? 1, 2, 3 more times. So just to paste it and do the changes. So 7, 8, 9, then star symbol. So again, one more time you paste it. And here I am just giving the numbers as 6, 5, 4, then minus symbol. Again, one more time, paste it. So now what I'm going to do here. So same thing I have given. Yes, 3, then 2, again 1, then plus symbol. 1 plus symbol. Later, one more section is there. So paste it one more time and provide 0, 0, then 0, dot symbol, later on equal to symbol. Now come and check it. So this is what the structure you have developed. The next thing what you should do here, you need to provide stylings for your structure. So now I want to make it to look like this. What you should do, create a style sheet and link that style sheet in this HTML document. So what I'm going to do, open the Explorer, create one file under this calculator. So new file. So I'm giving the file name as calstyle.css. So inside this, you just do the stylings and this file should be linked in your calculator. Okay, I'll just keep it a little small like this. Now see here, what is the first thing I need to do? The first thing I should do here is, I want to apply the basic kind of stylings that is called, I want to make a margin as 0, padding as 0, and the box sizing is a border box. So for every kind of application, the common thing here is these 3 properties, like margin 0, padding 0, and border box. That means box sizing is border box. This is compulsory. And if you want to fix any kind of a font family, you can fix it. So this stylings and all should be applied to the complete page, right? So then we should make use of one of the selector called universal selector. This star symbol indicates a universal selector. So what I'm saying here, for every application, there are common properties that is called margin 0, padding 0, then box sizing, border box. These 3 properties are common to all of the applications. That is denoted with the help of a universal selector so that this will be applicable to complete application. Okay, if you want to give us some kind of a stylings for your font, then you can provide just by using a font family and font weight, that and all. Okay, that is your wish, up to you. So this much is enough for me. If you want, you later on I will going to add the font family also. Now this is a common. The next thing what I need to do here is, I want to apply a background for my complete body section. See here now now you are not able to see any kind of stylings here. Why? Because you didn't link this file. You didn't link this file, CSS file in the HTML document. That's why you can see here there is a spaces before. You can see top and left side. You can see the spaces. So now when you will get the difference means just add this CSS file in the HTML. Where to add? Inside the head section, just link tags. That's it, right? So now just to give the file name. What is the file name that you have given there? So cal style dot CSS. That's it. So the file is linked. Now just to check it, check your file now. Can you see the margin and all becomes 0? So it's close to the margin. Yes or no? Why? Because we made it this and all 0. Okay, margin 0, padding 0. That's why it's become 0 for here. Now I want to apply color for my background body section. So here this should be occupied based on the width. Okay, so we have to provide width, height, and the content should be displayed side by side. Everything it should be proper, means it should be aligned at the center of the page. So what I'm going to do here is, for the body section you are providing the styles. First I'm going to apply the width. Width I'm going to do here is, our page makes a 100% width. So that's why I have given width is 100%, because how much width it is occupying, that complete width it should occupy. That is the reason. And one more thing, height is nothing but we cannot able to tell what is the height of our window. That is not the fixed one. It is going to be increases or decreases. It should be adjusted based on the content present in your window. So that's why we should use 100 VH, which is nothing but viewport height. Now, what is the next thing that you need to use here is, you need to make that complete thing at the center of the page, so that we will make use of the common properties that we have learned already. Display flex and justify content. What I can make it? Justify content, items, center. Then you have to align your items at the center. See here now, whenever you are making display flex, justify content, can you see here the content are not placed at the center, but I want to keep this at the center of the page. So that is the reason we are using one more property called align items center, so that it is going to be placed at the center of the page. Okay, so these properties are common wherever you are using, if it is required, I'm saying. Okay, so the next thing what we should do here. So the next thing I want to apply, I made this one at the center of the page. Once I apply a few more styling properties, then it will look similar to this only. What I need to do here is, first I want to apply background color for this. If you want only one color as a background, you can give background color something like black. But here I'm having some kind of variation. One side it is darker. When it is, the color is gradually decreasing to the lighter part, like gray color. So if you want to generate that kind of colors for background, there is a property called background property. There you should provide one function called linear gradient. Here you should provide the colors. Okay, how the color should be variates based on the degrees. For suppose if I have given 45 degrees, so the color will be variates based on the degree. For suppose if I am giving this color A0, A0, sorry, 0A0, A0, yeah, this is a black color. I want to make this color to little lighter. So this is a one more color, 3A4452. So now what happens, you can see there will be a little change in the color. This is 45 degrees. For suppose if I have given some color like 90 degrees, you can see that color variation vertically. Can you see here? You can see some kind of changes. Yes or no? So half of the part is black and half of the part is a gray color, little black. So this is based on your requirement, you can provide it. Okay, 60 means it will be like something like this. Okay, just observe however you want, you just giving by linear gradient, you can adjust the colors, different colors. Okay, yes, sir. The next thing, this is done. Later part, what I need to do? I want to apply stylings for this div. This complete is placed in which section? I placed in the calculator section. Now do the stylings for the calculator. So use that selector. What is the selector name that we had used there? Class selector. So class is denoted with the help of a dot symbol. So what is the class name that I have used here? Calculator. So just use it. Calculator. Now, what is the first thing that I need to do here? I want to apply the border for this. I want to apply border for this. Let's apply the border. I'll just keep this our page and apply border. I want to provide how much width you want. 1 pixels I want. Then what is the style of that line? Solid. And what will be the color for that one? You give whatever you like. I'm just going to give this a color code. So, okay. So just to make use of this. Now, what is this? You can see the border is applied for you. Now, what I need to do, it is very close to that buttons. So, I should apply some space around it. So, we will make use of padding property and it should be like equal spacing 20 pixels. Now, see here, 20 pixels is generated. 4 sides, the same spacing is done. And these corners are very sharp for me. I want to round it up. So, there is a one property called border radius. How much you want to round up? That much you can use just by using the pixels. Now, these corners are rounded up. And here I want to make this background color as a same thing which is provided for the body. So we know that there is a property called a background property. Yes or no? So background property, in that you want to fix the color. So color, background color, it should be same to the body. So that's why I'm using the transparent. So now it is not, it is looking same thing, but whenever you applying, it will be like a different thing, white color. So that's why I made it as transparent. Now, if you observe carefully, there's a shadows. Okay, there will be some glow around the box. If you want to apply the glow around the box, we already learned that box shadow, and you provide how much away the shadow will be affected to that box. So I'm going to provide a 0 pixels, 3 pixels, and the blurriness of that is 15 pixels. Here you can give any color, whatever you like it. So here I have given the red color. Now what I'm going to give here is, let's give the white color. So this will be very much, it's showing very much high. What I need to do here is, I just want to reduce that, what is that, opacity. That means the transparent means it should not be looks much. It should not be. So now what I'm going to do here is, instead of providing the names, we will make use of a RGBA format. Red, green, blue, and this is alpha, which is going to give the opacity. Okay, so means it is going to reduce the brightness of the shadow. Okay, so you just to provide the combination of these three colors, 113, 115, and 119, and this is 0.5 will be telling the, see here, the brightness of the shadow. So 0.5 is the opacity to tell the shadow for that box. Okay, this is the color combination for our box. Red, green, blue color combination. Okay, so this is how we are going to give the stylings. So now we have done the styling for this calculator part. Later on, I want to provide styling for this input tag. So how it looking like? So it is looking like big box, and it is having some difference, means some spaces to enter the text. So, but here the limited space is available. So now do the stylings for this input tag. Later on, you do stylings for this button tag. And in this button tag also, everything is looking same, but the colors for these buttons will be little different. And for this, you have applied a one background color also along with the text color. Okay, so we'll do everything at a time. So first I'm going to do stylings for the input tag one. So first what I will do here is, I'm going to provide some width. So width, let's provide a 320 pixels. So I'll just keep this one side by side so you can see what I'm making. Actually, the normal size of that input field will be this much only. So when the width of this input field is limited, the box size is also be adjusted according to it. Whenever I am providing the width as per our requirement, the box size will also get increases. Okay, so the later what I need to do here, I don't want to show the border for this input field. We are just applying the stylings for this input field. So now I don't want to show the border. So let's make a border none. So when you are making border none, you will not see the border. Here you can able to see the light white color, which is nothing but it is a background. So now what I will do here, I will make that background as a transparent so that it will be looking like the color which you have at the back. Okay, now there is no border for us. Correct. And I want to make it a bigger one. Means the height should be increased for that input field. So what we can do, simply apply the padding property and you provide some value for 4 side, that is 24 pixels. Now here it is okay, but the border is not looking. If you want to see the border, just keep it that one, then it will be okay. You can see this like this. Later I will remove that border also. But when you see here, these buttons are close to that input field. So to avoid that one, I will generate a space outside the box, margin 10 pixels. So the buttons will move away from that input field. And
class
who is that? Please mute your mics. Now, instead of providing this border, now what I will do here is, I'm going to make a border as none now. And to know there is a one field available means I'm going to provide a shadow for that also. So just to copy the same thing what you have applied for the box, that only I have given here. Now you can see the shadow means you can able to see that there is an input field for entering the details in that field. Okay, so now this one is done. Later, if you see carefully, the size of this text is small. So this is generated with the help of the placeholder, right? So inside this input field, you have one thing called a placeholder. That placeholder font size you need to increase to balance that size of that box. So font size, I'm giving something like, let us give 40 pixels. Can we give 40 pixels? Now, yes, it is very much big. I'm going to make it 30. Okay, but can you able to see that digit at the center of that input field? No. So what I need to do here is you need to keep that, that you have to keep that one at the center. Okay, and also I want to give the color for this also. Just give the color as a white color. So white. Now see, it's looking like white. And usually where that digit is, which is on the right side. So you just align that text. Okay, text align, right side. Now this is going to be placed at the right side. And if you see, whenever I'm moving my cursor onto this input field, you can see that one hand symbol. Is it getting you here? No. So now what I will do, I will apply cursor here, cursor pointer. Now see, whenever I'm moving my cursor onto that input field, you can able to see hand symbol. Okay. And the next thing what I'm going to do, this is about this input field is done. Later part, what I'm going to do here is, I want to apply stylings for these buttons. So you had common stylings for all the buttons. That's why I'm using a button tag. Now, what we should do for this button? For this button, I want to manage this complete one. Okay. What I want to do, I want to, this 4 buttons should be covered by this complete width. So what I'm going to give, width I'm going to give like 60 pixels. Width I'm giving 60 pixels. See here. And I want to provide, it should be looks like a square shape. So I'm providing height also like 60 pixels. So now it's looking like this. Now what I need to do, I want to generate the space outside the buttons. So margin, 4 sides I want same kind of spacing. So for 10 pixels. Now you can see you got it. So 6 fours are how much? 6 fours are 24. 24 plus 10 how much? See here. So every side you are getting 10, 10, 10. Means this side 10, 10. Every side you will get 10, 10, 10. So what is our width actually? 320. So if you calculate this width and if you calculate this 10 totally, you just add it up. So you are going to get it. Okay. So just check it this one. Okay. So now what I'm going to do here is, this is done. And one more thing, I want to make these buttons look like a circle. So what is the main thing that you want to use here is border radius 50%, so that it will become a circles. That's it. And I don't want to look these colors. I want to give the same color what I have behind this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to give background color transparent. What the color? Background color transparent. And I don't want to show this borders also. So what I'm going to do here is border none. Okay, it's good. Later, I want to give the color for my font. So color, give the color property. Color, let's give the color property as white color. So buttons are visible. Okay. Now I want to recognize there is a button. So what I can do, simply use this shadow for this buttons also. You can give different types of stylings. I'm just giving the same thing. So now buttons are also done. And I want to increase the size of this font. Okay. So I just want to increase the size of the font. So simply provide font size. I'm just going to give 30 pixels. We'll see. If it is not going good, you just reduce the sizes. That's it. 24 pixels. Little less, 22. I think it's better for me. Now, here, till here is done. Till here is done. I want to apply colors only for this specific things like AC, del, percentage, divided by star, minus, and plus. So where you have the common color for these buttons, for that buttons, you provide one identities. Okay. So compared to the HTML, so for these 4 buttons, you have green color. So provide same class name. Okay. So one class name you provide it. So space class is equal to what I'm going to give here. What you can give it like a BTN, which is nothing but a button. So same thing you have to provide it for star symbol and for minus symbol, then plus symbol. Okay. And that's it. This will be different, right? So later we will do. So first we will do stylings for this. So take the class a BTN. You provide color for that is what color it is there, ma? What is the color we have here? Green color. So provide a green color. Now check your side. So now these are in green color, but it is looking a little dark. So you can make it, adjust it with the just dragging these things. Okay. So green color is done. Later, you should apply background color for this. If you feel that it has the weight, means the boldness of the text is a little less, you can increase it just by providing a font weight. So where you can provide here itself in the buttons only. So you can increase the boldness of that numbers. Weight, I'm going to give 500. You can see it is going to be little increased. If you give 600 or 700, it is going to be increased. Yes, the boldness is increased. Now I want to apply background color for this orange color. So this is a special button. So class is equal to equal. I'll just give this class name. So with the help of this class name, I'm going to provide background color for this. That is background color, orange color, orange color. Now you can see the background is applied for this. Clear? Clear everyone? Yes. So everything is perfect for us. And actually, I don't want to apply this outlier. Means whenever I'm focusing onto it, I don't want to show that outlier. That is what, right? Outlier, we have learned that one. So whenever I'm focusing on that, I don't want to apply. I don't want to see that outlier. So you can remove that also. See what I can do. So what we can do here is input. Whenever you are focusing it, input, whenever you are focusing, that time I don't want to show that outlier. So outline none. So if you give outline none, see, whenever I'm focusing also, you are not getting that outline, just like this. So here I'm getting, but I don't want to see that one. Here I don't want that one. So without, I don't want that line. That's why I just made it as outline none. Okay. Okay. So HTML structure is done. Style is CSS is also done. What is the next thing that we need to do here is applying the actions on those buttons. Whenever I click on these buttons, that button value should be seen in this section. So you should provide one identity for this section. So let's come back to the HTML file. Here, for this input field, I'm giving one identity. ID is equal to your wish, whatever the name you are using, that should be used whenever you are performing the scripting. So ID is equal to result, means Whenever I'm clicking these buttons, that button value should be displayed in this field. What is that identity? Result. Okay, and whatever the buttons you are performing the action, that the data should be stored in one variable. Okay, you have to add those things with concatenating, and this is going to perform evaluation. See, whenever I'm clicking this, this is visible on this result field. Whenever I'm clicking this, this is also combining. What it is doing is everything is combining at the end of that string. If I'm keeping 1, that is also added. But when I click this equal to evaluation based on the operator, it is getting the result for us as 6. And this is also seen in the same field. And if I'm clicking this AC, it is coming back to the original position, giving it as a 0. For suppose if I have given some wrong digit at the end, if you want to remove this last digit, then you can use the del key, del. That time the last one means what is the length of this string is actual of 4. What 4? I want to, whenever I am removing this means it is reducing the one character at the end of the string. So if I means the length is just getting reduced by using this button. Means it is used to delete the recently added value. Okay, so this are all operations only. Whenever you are using these operations, if you click this, it is going to perform evaluation. Okay, there is a function for performing these actions, that is eval function. Okay, so now let's generate a scripting part. So for generating the scripting part, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a scripting file, which is an external scripting. So how to create that file? Simply right click, new file. So not folder, you should create, just right click, new file. So cal script dot, compulsory you should give an extension, that is JS. Now what is the next thing that we need to do here? First, whatever the values I'm giving here, that values should be stored in one variable. So from where you are gathering that values and all, you have to store it in the one variable. Okay, so now let's create a scripting part. Either you can create a separate file or you can write it in the same HTML document only, just above the closing tag of the body. So now we are using the external styling. So whenever you are writing the external styling, this file should be linked in your HTML document. Okay, so now first what I'm going to do here is let keyword input, means this is a variable. Whatever the data that you are getting, okay, you are getting displayed, that data is going to be stored in this variable. So how to get the data means we already know about the function called document dot get element by ID. We are making use of the ID called result. In this this field identification is a result. That data is going to be stored in this variable now. And one more thing that what I need to do here is whatever the button I'm clicking, that button value also I need to store it in one variable. So let buttons is equal to, that is getting from where? That is getting from document dot tag name only you can give. Document dot. Okay, now here there is no one field. There are multiple fields related to the same tag name, that is button. So whatever the button you are clicking, that button value should get stored here. So we are using here as query selector all, because there are multiple things we have. Query selector all. So see here, returns all elements descendants of node that match selectors. Okay, whatever the buttons you have, okay, whatever you are clicking, that button value will be stored in the same relevant things. That is what the meaning. So what is that name? What is the tag name here? Button tag. Okay, button tag. Now what you need to do? You need to store the result in one variable. Initially, we are not having any result. So we will create one string with empty value, that is empty bracket, empty quotations, where there is no result for us. So whenever you are clicking, this should be added one by one in this string. Understanding? So that is the usage of this variable creation. Now whatever the value you are clicking, right, that is adding at the end of the, means it is making like a list. So it is like an array. Multiple values are storing at a time means that is called an array in the JavaScript. So create one variable to store a multiple values at a time. Let array is equal to array dot, from where you are getting the values. The values are getting from these buttons. That button values are stored in the which variable? Buttons variable. That's it. Whatever the button you are clicking, that button values are going to stored in this variable. This is the field to display the result. This is the variable. And this is the field where it is going to gather the data in the format of an array. Okay. So now you have to perform some kind of actions. Button dot add buttons, button dot, you have created this variable, right? Now create an array. 1 second. Sound is getting. Now you have to get the value one by one. You have to iterate it. Whatever the values you are stored in this variable, you need to travel it one by one. For that, we are using a concept called iterative statement that is for each. So just to provide from the array, you are taking one by one value. For each function, the values are all stored in this array, right? So you store it in one variable, that is array button variable. And here we are using a concept called arrow function. Okay, so whatever the button you are clicking, that button is going to be given the value. Okay, button dot add event listener. Whatever the button you are clicking, it is going to create an event that is called E. So based on the value, it is going to perform the actions. If your event is targeting to what value, that means it is based on the HTML. Means if it is working with the equal equal symbol, if you are making a equal symbol, if your button is targeting to this equal to symbol, that time what you should do, you should evaluate the output. Evaluate. You have to evaluate the output and you have to store it in this variable. The output you have to store it in this variable based on the values you have generated with the help of these buttons. Okay. So what I'm going to do, string is equal to evaluation based on the string data. Okay. So you will evaluate that data and you are going to store that data in as an output for us. Okay, so now what you need to do? You need to display that. So input dot value is equal to string. The data what you are getting, that you have to display it. Your value should be displayed as your output in the same field. Whatever you are updating in the string field, that is called the input value. This is the input section, right? So the value, this is called a value that should be assigned. That should be assigned to this section to display for us. Okay, so if this other than this equal to you are using, then what you have to do? You have to, what you need to do? Other than this, if you are doing means what you need to do? It should join. See, whenever I'm clicking, everything is joining. It is getting added up at the end of the value. So string for joining purpose, we will use plus equal to string and that value should be displayed where? In that input section only. Value is equal to string. It should be displayed. Now come back to the come back to your this one application, refresh. Now see here. If I'm clicking 6, are you able to do actions anything? No. Why? You didn't link this file in your HTML document. So come back to your HTML document and use a script tag. Here src is equal to, what is that file name? Cal script dot js. So you should give this name. Now see, it's got updated. Now see, whenever I'm clicking, just observe here. Whenever I'm clicking this button, just refresh. It's not working. Whenever you are clicking these buttons, that buttons should be added here. Means where these buttons you are getting from this, means you are targeting that inner HTML only, right? So string you should add it. Okay, you should add means whatever the button you are targeting, that button value should be updated to this string variable. Okay, that is what here. So just refresh. Now see here, if I'm clicking 6, can you able to see the number here? No, you cannot see because you didn't give the color for this input field. So come to the style. So in the input field, you just to provide the color. So color, I'm just giving it like a white color. Now you can see it properly. So, but it is very much small. I'm going to provide the same font size what I have given for my placeholder. Now it is looking good. So like this only. So now 6 is added. Okay, initially it is empty. Now 6 is going to be added here. Again, if I'm clicking 5, if I'm clicking 6, 4, okay, again, if I'm clicking 5, that is also be joined because of this reason. So this plus is going to concatenate the values, what and all you are targeting to those fields. Okay, and where you are displaying that value you are displaying in the input field means this is the input field, right? This is water. So whatever the value you are getting, that value you are what it is updated, this value you are showing for us in this field. Okay, okay. If I'm clicking the plus symbol, that is also be joined. If I'm clicking the 9, that is also be joined. If I'm using the equal to symbol, this condition will get satisfied. It is going to make use of this evaluation for performing the operations based on the given operator. If you click equal to symbol, now see it is performing the addition. If I'm clicking AC, it is not working. What you need to do, whenever you are clicking the AC button, it should clear the complete thing, means it should come back to the empty string. So you should provide one more condition here. What is that condition? Else if whenever you are targeting, means whenever your target button is inner HTML equal to AC, that time what you make it, your string should become empty. You want to make your string value as empty. String is equal to empty, and this empty value you should display on that result field, that means this input field. Now see here, whenever I'm performing 5 minus 4 is equal to 1. Again, minus 4 is equal to minus 3. Plus 75 equal to, okay. Now I want to clear this. If you click this AC, it is going to make the empty thing, and this value you are going to see it as this one, 0. Okay, that is good. Now, what is the next thing that we are going to do here is, see, when I'm clicking a multiple values, mistakenly I have given last digit as a wrong one. So that time what we will do, I will delete, if I'm clicking this delete, it should delete the recently added value. But here this is coming directly. So what you should do here is, see what I'm saying, see one like this, I just entered these values. So just observe carefully, I'll explain it. So actually this is a string. So this is a string concept. This is a string. Actually, what is the length of this string? The length of this string here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Correct. So this size is not fixed actually. As per our requirement, as per our clicking, the values size may get changes. Okay. So to get the size of the given string, we will make use of the property called length property. Okay. So that it will give the length of that given data. Now, when I click this del, it should delete the last character. That means last digit. That means if you are treating this complete as a string, okay, you want to delete this one and you should display the rest of the things. Means I can call this one as a substring. Okay, what I can do, there is a one function called substring function. And what you want to do, this will start 0th position, 1st position, 2nd position, 3rd position, 4th position, 5th position. So whenever I'm clicking this button, this value should not, this value should be removed. Then here, see here, 89521. So only these values will be generated. So you should give 0, comma. So if you are giving 5 means, definitely you will not give the same length. Based on the length, you should get that value. Okay. So what I'm going to give, the string data length you have to give. Dot means from the string dot length. Then what happens? It is going to take the length of the string is 5. So 0, comma 5. So whenever you are giving this is a start index, this is the stop index. This value will be excluded for us. That means it is going to read only 89521 only. If you want to delete again this one, actually the size is going to be adjusted with the help of string dot length. So the length will be 4 now. So when it will be like 0, comma 4, this will be excluded. So it will return only 0th position value, 1 position value, 2nd position value, 3rd position value. So only these position values will be given. So now see here what I'm saying. See, now I'm going to generate it here, the code. See, whenever you are clicking this button, so how you should write? E dot target dot inner HTML equal to tell button. Whenever you are targeting that button, that time what I should do? I want to delete the last character and it should update to the same string variable and that data should be displayed in this input field. So string is equal to, there is a function comes from the string is, from the string I want to get the substring according to my requirement is from 0th position and based on the length of that string. So string dot length. That's it. So now what it is going to be performed? So here if you are giving length, it is going to be taken till 5. So you should reduce it. So -1. It is compulsory. So once it is updated, what you need to do? The updated value should be displayed in your input field where the data is going to be updated in this string variable only. Now see here. Now refresh. Now I entered these values here. So what is the length of this one? 4. What is the length of this one? 4. If I'm clicking this one, the last digit is not be removed. It is going to be removed. That means it is going to be displaying 564 only. See there? Now what is the length of this string? 3. So now if I want to remove this means, that means whenever you are reducing, the size of that string is getting reduces. So that is not fixed. That's why we should give this string dot length property to manage based on its length. Substring is nothing but getting some of the values from the main string. Okay, so see here. Start the 0 based index number indicating the beginning of the string. 0 based index indicates the end of the substring. Remember, but not including. The stop value will not be included. It is excluded. It will read till before value only. Okay, so this is how you can create a calculator application easily with the help of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So now you can perform 2.3. Okay, just remove it everything. 2.3 plus 5.4 is equal to 7.7 minus 4, 3.7 into 100 is equal to this one. So if you want to clear it, you can clear it. By mistakenly, you have entered one digit extra. So just remove it just by using this del keyboard. So it is working nicely how we are able to use this calculator. Till here understood everyone? Till here understood?
Ma'am,
Yes.
where we see file of .css in HTML,
Yes, ma?
that's .css file in HTML, in which tag we will add.
.html and CSS file what, ma? What is your doubt? Ask it clearly.
Ma'am, as a we add .js file in script tag, right? So where we add this .css file in HTML?
CSS file is added at the head section using the link tag. Okay. Whereas
Okay.
script tag is added at the ending tag of the, before the ending tag of the body.
Body tag. Okay, ma'am. Yeah.
So we can use this scripting tag at the head section also, but means it's a practice, it's a good practice here is just to write just above the closing tag of the body.
Okay, ma'am.
Till here understood everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, the next thing that I'm going to explain here is you need to deploy this application onto the server side. How can you deploy? First, I want to deploy this code. So where will be the good place to deploy this code and all? GitHub. I can prefer GitHub. Ma'am, can I store this in my Gmails? Can I store this one somewhere else in my drives? Okay, you can store it. But if anyone requires your project, if anyone needs, then instead of sharing through emails, instead of sharing through WhatsApp, it's not the good way, because whenever they do the changes, you will not come to know. And if you have done new changes, they will not come to know. It should maintain some history. Then GitHub is a good place. Whoever did the changes, that can be notified to all of them who are using the same account. Means, for example, if you are working like a team, then everyone can participate in that same project, so that whoever done the modifications, you can able to notify it. If it is good for you, then you can keep it for yourself. If it is not there, only who did the changes, only they can keep it as a one document. Okay, so to track the history details and all, whenever we made some kind of changes, GitHub plays a major role here. How to deploy it in the GitHub? Very simple steps. See here, must and should have a one thing called a local repository, that is called Git. And second thing, there should be one more thing called GitHub. That is a server side repository, that is called remote repository. These two things are very much important. Usually, whatever the project you did it, that is in your system. Okay. From your system, that is not in a staging area. It is unstaged area. First, from your working space to you make it to the staging area. From that staging area, you should convert into the local repository. From that local repository, you should send to the remote repository. That means to the remote side, means server side. Okay, so these steps should be followed. So for that, you should install the Git first. Okay, so without that also, you can able to transfer it directly. But whenever you do the changes in your system, it will not get affected to there. Okay, that is the reason should maintain the local repository first. Understanding what I'm saying here, everyone? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
So what are the steps that you need to follow for GitHub? So I'm showing the PPTs now. So not that much. Okay, just for understanding a version control system. This is what I'm saying. First, what you should do here is first install Git. Very simple step. You can make use of it. What you should do here is just to open the browser and type it as Git. Simply type it as Git. Once you type it, so this is a version control system. So whatever it should be, right, you can make use of based on your platform, you can make use of it. Just hit on this official website. Once it opens, based on your operating system, you download it. Here, mine is a Windows operating system. Simply click on this. Directly, it will be downloaded for Windows. If you are having Mac OS, if you are having Linux, you can make use of these links for downloading the Git. Once it is downloaded, what are the steps that you need to follow? Very simple thing. First, you have to provide the credentials where you want to deploy your projects on the server side. First thing, see what I said here is first you need to install it. So what is the main thing here is, so developer for the source code management of products. See, Git provides accessibility to manage the modifications done by other users so that you can compare the current version with the older one. That is what, right, I said. So you just compare. If it is good, you can make use of it. If it's not good, you can leave it and you can follow the same things what you have done previously. And now see here, what is the working flow of the Git? Working directory means where you have written your project. Later, you should make it to the staging area. From this staging area, you should convert to the local repository. From this local repository, you should deploy it on the remote repository. To make all these steps, you should follow these commands. Now, is someone talking? Any doubts or you are not talking simply?
टीम इन्फो किसका अरे टॉपिक है वो टीम का इन्फो प्रॉब्लम टीम मेक योर पीपीटी अगेन विद टीम है इन्फो मतलब टीम का इन्फो
Muskan Kumari, can you please mute your mic?
आ गया टीम है रिपीट
Hello. Okay, I made her to mute. Okay, it's okay. So, Seema, this is what, don't disturb the session. If you are not willing to take means you can leave, no problem. So others having important, right? So let them listen. Okay, yes. So the first thing what you should do here is after downloading, you should get installed in your system. So once it is downloaded, you double click on that downloaded file and these are the default check-ins. You keep it like that only and hit the next button. Once you click on the next button, it will get installed in your system. Then you need to check it whether it is installed in your system or not. How you should check it means it as CMD and open this C command prompt. So in that command prompt, you just simply type it as git -version. So if it is giving the version, is saying it as this one, what you should do? Open CMD. You just give the command git -version, hit the enter button. Now you can see our Git version is 2.44.0 in the Windows operating system. If it is generating like this, meaning that you have installed this Git repository successfully. Now, what are the next steps that you need to follow here is you need to set up with your username and the email address. You should set up your local repository with username and email address. How to set up? Using these commands. Git config --global username. I'll simply copy this line. I'll copy this line. Why it's not working? Okay, copy this line, come to the command prompt and paste it here. Instead of writing your name, I'm just providing name as Gowthami. So just hit the enter button. Now your username is set. Now the next thing what you need to do, you need to set the email address. Okay, you should set it. So come to the command prompt and type it your email address. So let us, whatever you want, you can give it more. So let us giving Gowthami09 November 92 @gmail.com. So now I set it up with my username and email address. What is the next thing that you need to do? You need to initialize the local repository for first time. So we have done the configuration is done. Now you need to initialize the local repository. Why? Because from that place only you can able to send it to the server side. So first create a local repository. From that, once you create it, you should send your project from your working space to the staging area. From that staging area to local repository. For that only you should use these commands. Now come here. Now, where is your files existing actually? My files are existing. Actually, I want to deploy this calculator only on my GitHub. So where is your file actually? My file is here on my desktop. Just open it. So you should, what is that location? In this calculator only. In this calculator, how many files you have? 1, 2, 3 files. You are going to initialize the local repository. How to initialize means just copy this path. Copy this path. In this path only you want to create local repository. So that's why you should convert this command prompt to that location. How to change the location means cd space give that path. You should give that path. Now your command prompt now in this place. Here you generate what? Local repository using the command git init. Now see, once I hit the enter button, there will be one file generated. Now see here, you can see there is a one file generated. Git initialized empty git repository. One file is generated, one folder is generated. Now what I need to do, whatever the files that I'm having in my working place, that files and all I need to convert to the staging area. These are on staging. So you need to stage it. What is the command you need to use here is git add command. You should provide, you need to unstage to staging. Okay, all the files. That's why you should put a dot symbol. So hit the enter button. Now all the files are converted from unstaging to staging. Now what you should do? Whatever the files converted to the staging, that should be added into your local repository. How to add it? Simply using the git commit -m. You should give, it's a first project, you just give whatever the name you need it. So this is a commands. You should use these commands whenever you are deploying your project on the server side. Okay, you should follow these commands. Git commit -m and one prompt you should give. So once you hit the enter button, can you see 3 files are changed? Create mode, these files are added into the local repository. Now what you should do? You should add these files in the remote repository. So when you want to add it into the remote repository, you should have an account in the GitHub. Then only you can able to deploy there. Without having the account, how can you deploy? It is impossible. So what is the next step that you need to do here is you create an account in the GitHub. How to create? Very simple. Just open the browser and check for GitHub. So once you hit on it, if you are new to it, you should provide some details. Okay. If I am not new, once I click this, directly it is going to open my dashboard. See here, try GitHub. Say I'm just signing up for, okay, sign in. So once I click the sign in, so it is going to ask the details for us. So I'm going to provide, it is going to open it. So it is going to open the dashboard for me. Okay. So it's okay if you see the password also, no problem. Okay. So now this is my dashboard. This is my dashboard. Now what I need to do? I want to deploy the project. So ma'am, you have already account. So it is very simple to open that GitHub. If I am not having the GitHub, what is the process to add an account? Very simple. See here, just to open the GitHub, you just click on the sign in. Okay, sign up. Okay, just open the browser. There you search for github.com. It will open the same page what I have shown there, that one. There, instead of clicking the sign in, you should click on the sign up. You just to provide the details like username, email address, and password. Once you click on sign up for GitHub, automatically it will open the dashboard, what I can see here. Your dashboards. Okay. So the next thing what you should do. What is the next thing you need to do here is, now you want to add a file here. Yes or no? So that time what you should do here is you should create a repository. In that repository only you want to deploy the project where you have stored in the local repository. Correct? So for creating a repository, you just click on this icon, plus icon, new repository, and give one name for that repository name. So let us take something like a new batch. Just I'm giving the name as new batch. That's it. So new batch is available. It is okay. You can give it like that. And no need to change any kind of things. Just to keep it simply and click on the create repository. It is going to create a repository for us. So it is going to provide commands also how to get the project from your local repository. That means from your working space. So now what I did first here, git init, I did it right. Later git add, all the files I have done. That's why I put a dot symbol. Then what I did, from the first I have created empty repository. Later I added all the files from unstaging to staging area. Then from staging area to the local repository. Till here we did it. Later what we should do. So this is the common tree structure now, which is a parent structure. So you should create a branch on it. Simply copy this and paste it here. Just paste it here and hit the enter button. Very simple. Now just copy and paste whatever the steps here they have provided here. Now once you have created the branch means the files and all is going to be added under this branch, that is main only. Okay, that is what the meaning. Then where you want to deploy, my repository location is this one. So you want to deploy this local repository files in this main repository, that is remote repository. So copy this command and paste it here. So this is the path where you want to deploy your project. So this was generated in the GitHub when you are creating the new repository. So just copy and paste it here, hit the enter button. Now the path is set for you. So once you are pushing, so now use this command, push command, so that whatever the files you are having in your local repository, all those files are going to be added under this main section. Initially, your file, your new repository with the name new batch is empty. Once you use this command git to push -u origin main, whatever the files are present in this one, all will be added in your account under new batch. So now I have hit the enter button. Now see, count, everything is added. Now come back to the remote repository now, GitHub. Initially there is no files actually. So the command is enter, means it is updated. Just refresh. Once you refresh it, those 3 files are added here. So calculator script, calculator style, calculator.html. Now just open and check it. Whatever the code you have written there, the same code you can see it here. You can download this. You can share it to other persons. If you want to do changes, you simply click on this edit icon. And now what I'm going to do, instead of using these capital letters, I'm using a small case letters. So whenever you have done the changes, see, del, I have done it. So once you did the changes, you hit the commit changes. Okay, so this is the name is going to be updated in your file beside that file. Now come back to here. So now this is my repository. So where is my repositories? These are my repositories, new batch. You can see here the file is updated. This file is updated. What is the name you have given while creating that file? First project. Whenever you are committing, you have given this prompt only. Once you have done the changes in this file, you have given one more name as update calculator. Yes or no? Is these changes be added in your document? Obviously no. Obviously no. Where you can see that effects? Will you see it here? This is not ours. This just to close this. This is now. This is what ours. Refresh. Will you see any changes here? Once you have done changes here, will you see any changes there? Will you see here small case letters? No. How can you get the changes back to your system? How can you get it back? Very simple. You have to use a command called pull command. What is that command you should use here? Pull command. Open. So now what you will do here is git pull command. So from where you want to pull the changes and all, where you have done all those things, that and all, you should get it back. So you should use a command called git pull from where? Origin only, right? You should give the origin. Okay, 1 second. Pull origin. From which branch you are getting that one? Main branch. Run it. So whatever the changes you have done it. Can you see it here now? AC, then. You got it, you have seen the changes here. Yes or no? Yes, it is done. For suppose, once you have added in the server side, after a few days later, you would like to change some changes here. Like in the style section, instead of providing a orange color to the evaluation, I want to provide a blue color. I want to provide blue color. In your system, the changes will be seen. Will you be seeing changes in your CSS in the repository, remote repository? No. How can you change in the remote side also? Very simple. You have to check the status. Git status. Whenever you did the changes, Yes, you had modified the calculator style file, something. So whenever you should commit it, means usually you have done changes in their working location. Now that is unstaged only. Again, it should be like cycle only. You should make to staging, staging to local repository to remote. So what you should do now? Git add. So if you put a dot symbol, whatever, wherever you did the changes, all changes will be converted to the staging. So that's why I'm giving dot symbol. No, ma'am, I want to give the specific file only. Then you give that specific file name calstyle.css. Okay, that is up to you. Once it convert to the staging area, that I need to do here is committing to the local repository. Git commit -m. Now change in CSS. This is my prompt to understand for me. So now once it is done, it is converted to the local repository. Now from local repository to I want to push it there. So how to push it? So simply we can make use of git push -u origin main. So hit the enter button. Once you hit the enter button, the changes will be done. So now come back to this remote repository. You cannot see any updates now. When you will see the updates, once you refresh, you can see the updates with blue. Can you see that? Blue is updated. Yes or no? So now come back to the new batch. Now, what is the prompt that you have given there? Change in CSS. That is what there. You want to track the history details. You simply click on it. So now see here, initially the background color is orange color and it is blue color. Like this, you can track it and come back. If you want to see here also in the HTML, yes, you can track it. Initially, these are in red color makes you to, it is old one, green color means updated one. So AC like this. So this is how you can deploy your projects on the remote sites, that is Git and GitHub. So here we can able to deploy only the coding part. You can also deploy this output also in some other server sites also. That is called a Netlify, okay, Render, different types of softwares also there. So that will be seen in the next session. Hope you thoroughly understand all the concepts what we covered in this session. If you are having any doubts, comment below. Who are not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for more notifications. We'll meet you in the next video with another concept. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.